Welcome to the next episode of the Gallic War. The Helvetii have been defeated in the Battle of Bibracte, and now a new enemy comes into the spotlight. After the successful battle, princes from all over Gaul came and congratulated Caesar on his victory. They also asked for permission to convene a meeting to discuss the latest events. Caesar had no objection to this, and so they met again a few days later. The assembly was led by the two strongest tribes, the Aedui and the Arverni. They waged war against each other for a long time. The Sequani, who were allies of the Arverni, hired Germanic mercenaries to support them in the conflict. The tribes had been enemies for a long time, but now they asked for help together. At first, the number was around 15,000 Germanic people who crossed the Rhine and entered Gallic territory. But the Germanic people developed a taste for the Gallic way of life. And now 120,000 of them have settled in Gaul. The Aedui and their allies desperately tried to drive out the Germans, but they suffered a heavy defeat in the Battle of Magetobriga and were forced to pay tribute from then on. Many high-ranking nobles lost their lives, and noble children were taken hostage. They also had to take an oath that prohibited them from demanding the hostages back, asking the Romans for help, or resisting the tribute obligation. Diviciacus acted as a spokesman for the Aedui in the assembly. He explained to Caesar that he was the only one not bound by the oath and could therefore ask the Roman people for support. He has to help them drive Ariovist out. Furthermore, he had now established himself in Sequani territory and claimed a third of their land. He had also already given the Sequani the order to clear the second third so that the Germanic Harude tribe could settle there. The Gauls feared that they would be expelled from their own land. The way of life and culture of the Germanic peoples differed greatly from those of the Gauls. Diviciacus said, "Ariovistus must be driven out. He is unpredictable and cruel. He mistreats the Gallic hostages at will. If we don't make it, we'll have to emigrate and find a new place to live." He asked Caesar to keep the conversation secret. Ariovistus was not allowed to find out about it. Otherwise, some of the hostages could die a painful death. All the members of the assembly vehemently asked Caesar for help. Only the Sequani remained silent. Caesar asked Diviciacus why they were so quiet and hanging their heads down. To this, the prince replied, "They have the worst fate of all. We can at least escape. But the Sequani are already completely under the power of Ariovistus and must therefore endure all the torments." Caesar promised to take care of the matter and ended the meeting. Even though Ariovistus was once described as a friend and king by the Senate, he wanted to take action against him. Finally, in the long term, the Germanic tribes would also pose a danger to the Romans. The territory of the Sequani and that of the Roman province were only separated by empty land. No barbarian should ever invade Italy again. An invasion of Roman territory could trigger an unfavorable chain reaction. The conflict had to be confined to Gaul at all costs. Caesar sent envoys to Ariovistus asking for a meeting. The king replied that if he wanted something from him, he should come in person. Caesar does not comply with the request and sends another envoy. This time with the clear request not to lead any more Germanic tribes across the Rhine, to release the Aedui hostages again, and not to commit any acts of violence against the Gauls. If he did that, he would continue to be assured of the favor and friendship of the Roman people. Otherwise, he sees himself in a position to intervene. Already in the consulate in 61 BC, it was decided that the Aedui and their allies must be protected. From this statement, you can clearly see that Caesar is trying to find justification before the Roman people and Senate so that he can take action against Ariovistus. After all, he enjoys a reputation there. It was not for nothing that the Senate honored him with the dignity of king. Caesar had to be careful. A failure could quickly end his career. The Senate was not well disposed towards him and was only waiting for failure on his part. Furthermore, he needed the conflict with Ariovistus. After the Battle of Bibracte, the Helvetii were defeated, and he no longer had any legitimacy to stay on Gallic territory. Ariovistus was the new enemy he needed to continue his Gallic war. Will there be a battle against the Germanic king? In any case, Ariovistus appeared unimpressed by the threat. He saw himself as righteous. He won the war, and therefore he could do whatever he wanted with the defeated. The Roman people were not entitled to interfere in this matter. However, Ariovistus promised him not to start an unlawful war as long as everyone stuck to the agreements. If Caesar wanted a war, he was welcome to have it. His warriors have been fighting continuously for 14 years. No one could stop them. That's what I call an announcement. How will Caesar react? You'll get the answer next time, your geek philosopher.